It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi, when you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. There's a look outside of the Saville Community Sport Centre here on the South Campus of the University of Alberta in Edmonton. The host Pandas are in this Consolation final as they take on the St. Mary's University Huskies. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our continuing coverage here of the 2024 Women's Final 8 presented by West End Edmonton here on CBC. Alongside Eric Fawcett, I'm Grayson Knutson. This is not the game that these two teams wanted to play in, but there certainly is a sense of pride on the line in a consolation final.
There is, and sometimes you don't get that level of pride and energy in a consolation final, but I mean, let me tell you, it's buzzing in here, and of course, a lot of that has to do with the host Pandas here with a whole lot of people and friends and family to support them, but I think we saw yesterday that St. Mary's played with a whole lot of enthusiasm to get to this game. You can see with the way that they played through their shoot-around, played through their warm-ups, they want to be here, they want to finish this tournament out strong with a win, so I don't think this is going to be a regular consolation side final. I think this is going to be a very competitive game.
And an Alberta team, too, that wants to show out one last time on their home floor, particularly for their graduating players.
I think so, and that's something that's always going to motivate teams at this level, even if you didn't end up in the final game that you wanted. And that's the kind of cruelty of March and cruelty of a tournament is we have seen some careers come to a close this weekend, and everyone wants to be able to finish their collegiate career on a win. That is for sure, and it'll also motivate the players who still have eligibility remaining to make sure that their veterans get sent off the right way.
Tip-off starting lineups coming up shortly. Stay with us. The 2024 Women's Final 8 from Edmonton is right here on CBC. Trevor on the PA today, introducing the starting lineups and our officiating crew. Alberta will wear the gold with evergreen trim uniforms, while St. Mary's in the predominantly black with a little bit of burgundy. There's a look at number 14, Lucina Beaumont, coming off a double-double in a victory over Fraser Valley in the Consolation semifinal at 12 points to go along with 11 boards. Patches getting us fired up as well in the corner. Claire Signatovich was part of a trio of Pandas that had 16 points in their Consolation semifinal win over the Calgary Dinos. And of course, a healthy crowd supporting the hometown Pandas here. Should be an interesting contest between these two schools, Eric. How do you see them matching up going head to head?
Well, I think we saw it yesterday, and we've seen all season long with the Pandas, the amount of depth they have in the backcourt with guards that can pressure the ball and make things uncomfortable for opposing ball handlers. So they're going to try to dominate things defensively on the perimeter. And St. Mary's, with that length on the inside with Lucina Beaumont, Caitlin Power, they're going to try to dominate inside. So we'll see who can come out successful.
Courtney Donaldson kicks it out for Beaumont. And now Alina McMillan blocked. Getting a piece of that was Jenna Harp. Alberta led Canada West in blocks per game, 5.2, and Harp showing off why early on in this one. 13 on the clock for the Huskies as they inbound on the baseline. McMillan drops back to the three-point line, then gives to Beaumont. Trying to break down Harp here. Back up top, McMillan gets by one. Tried to dish inside. Good hands from Claire Signatovich. Jenna Harp. She had 16 yesterday, and so did number 16, Jaden Tanner. Signatovich down low. Nice pass. Good finish. Shane McCusker gets the Pandas on the board.
Nice counter by the Pandas. When that post is fronted, flash the opposite wing to the free throw line, and you get that high-low action. That's beautiful stuff.
Beaumont for three. That one will rim out. Power comes in, grabs the rebound. Unfortunately, stepped on the baseline. So a turnover here.
Last night it was Beaumont who hit some early shots to get a lead for St. Mary's. And there you see again the length of Caitlin Power, who was so impactful defensively last night. So again, you're seeing the best players have certainly come out to play.
Harp for Signatovich, hands it off for Tanner. Drives into the paint, lost the handle, and it's a steal for St. Mary's. St. Mary's forced 34 turnovers yesterday against UFV. Beaumont slips past one, flips it up, won't get the friendly roll. Signatovich on the rebound. There's Power coming up with another steal. Kicks it out. McMillan has time and space to fire, and she hits from downtown.
Again, it's all caused by Caitlin Power. Such a good defensive player. It's not just the length, it's the anticipation. And there you've seen even 90 feet from her own hoop is causing chaos.
Riley Semenuk for Alberta. Hands it off. Tanner will fire from deep. Off the front rim. Big rebound. Karam's back out to her. Harp will fire from downtown. That one misses as well. Good effort by McCusker to get a rebound. Then bullies her way underneath the bucket for two more.
St. Mary's has length. They don't have as much muscle on the inside, and that's where McCusker has a massive advantage like you see there.
Courtney Donaldson will kick it out to McMillan. Back into the post. Backing in Marlo Steenbakers. Steenbakers flips it up. That's no good. McMillan pokes it back to Steenbakers. No reset on the shot clock. They got to let it go. 2-1, and there is a 24-second violation on St. Mary's.
Didn't recognize there as an offense that the ball didn't hit the rim. There wasn't a reset. I don't think the bench, which was on the near side, noticed either. But you saw they had something going with a nice cut. Unfortunately, it was just a little late. But again, you like to see that offensive rebound with them poking away the ball, and just a really high level of intensity from both teams early.
The impressive rookie, Ella Rees is in for Alberta, coming in for Tanner as another steal from St. Mary's. McMillan. That one will rim out, and there is Rees gathering. Alberta has forced now 9 shot clock violations here at Nationals, so that's in 2 games in not quite 3 minutes. Patrick Erickson, our stats crew, doing impressive work throughout the weekend, getting us some of those little tidbits for you as we get a foul called here, and Jenna Harp will go to the line for 2. Harp is a 73.1% free throw shooter. Didn't have a great shooting night yesterday, but hit 13 of 15 from the line.
She really brings a lot of that offensive flash that is a little bit unique to that guard group. They need someone who can go and kind of get you one when a play breaks down, and I feel like she's that kind of most electric individual creator that the Pandas have on the roster, and you can see that while she might miss a couple shots in a row, she also can make a bunch in a row. When she gets hot, watch out.
Hit them both there. McMillan opens things up with a crossover. Swish! That's sweet from Alina McMillan.
Oh, she just keeps the dribble so close to the ground and can dribble so fast because of it. Absolutely shakes the defender before the step back.
Corner 3 from Rees. That'll go! Nothing but the bottom of the cup for Ella Rees. 45.5% she shoots from downtown. McMillan, now Donaldson as they work it around the horn. Beaumont trying to get around Harp, can't do it, gives to Donaldson. Harp defending her. And a good intervention there from McCusker. Back the other way quickly come Alberta. Rees fires from deep, a little bit short. Now St. Mary's will push. Donaldson in the corner, she lets it fly, that'll go! A 3-pointer for Courtney Donaldson. Harp forward. Semenuk into the corner. Another one for Rees. That one's off the mark. McCusker rebounds. Rees this time driving, tried to flip it up with the right. She got hacked on the way and will go to the line.
It's a good way to draw fouls. You'll see she comes to the rim and instead of finishing with her left, she uses that inside hand. That's a good way to kind of draw contact. The defender's expecting to extend fully to try to contest the outside hand, slip in that little inside hand, and that's if you like to watch someone named James Harden draw a lot of fouls at the NBA level, that's one of his old school tricks. So really savvy play there from a young player who's already had some big points early.
We've got the media timeout here at 9-9. 5:36 to go in the first quarter. We'll be right back. 2024 Women's Final 8 right here on CBC.
Hey U Sports fans, check out shop.usports.ca for this week's promotional item from the Nike Team collection. Visitez le shop.usport.ca pour en profiter de la promotion de la semaine de la collection Nike Team.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
There's a look inside the Alberta huddle and head coach Scott Edwards. 18 seasons now for Edwards at the helm of the U of A Pandas program. Scott Monroe is the 2024 AUS Coach of the Year, leading these St. Mary's Huskies. These two teams played at last year's tournament. That was in the bronze medal match. Pandas came out on top 64-49. Ella Rees, Bracebridge, Ontario, at the line for a couple, misses the first. Ella, 82.4% free throw shooter during the season. Haven't seen a ton of her, as I'm normally on the volleyball calls during the season, but what I've seen from Ella when she plays, boy, she's just a pure shooter, isn't she?
Absolutely. She had one of, I was able to do a game earlier, and I think she had one of my favorite post-game conversations I've ever had with the player, and she plays very feisty, and let me tell you, in interview, she was not scared to talk. So she gained a fan with me there, and you can see why.
Well, she forced a turnover on the defensive end, led to an open three for Jenna Harp in transition for Alberta, and then the defensive pressure from Harp as well as Olsen forces another turnover. That's got the crowd hyped up early on.
Yeah, we talked about the forced shot clock violation early. Now we get 8 seconds where they are not able to get it across half. And again, Scott Edwards and the U of A program, it's all about defense. And these defensive programs, they pride themselves on being able to force things like 8 seconds, like shot clock violations. So to have a couple early, that's pretty huge.
Rees couldn't get that one to go. Ball will stay, though, at this end of the floor with Alberta. Both these teams were arguably the top defensive teams in their conference. Alberta led in defensive points per game and defensive field goal percentage. Same categories that St. Mary's led in the AUS. Signatovic driving, flips one up. That one won't go. Rebound secured by Emily Dickton. Here's Beaumont. Plays it back up for McMillan, and now Aki Kobayashi. Screen from Dickton. She rolls off of it. Dickton flips it up. A little bit too much on that one. Gathered in by the Pandas. They'll head the other way. Good fast break up ahead. Signatovic. She traveled.
That was incredible by McMillan, running back in transition and making a play on the ball without fouling. I thought this was a layup all the way, and coming from outside of the frame, McMillan comes and makes a play on the ball, just enough to force a travel. And on the previous possession, she had a great play helping over again on Signatovic, just at 5'6", just putting her hands up and forcing a miss from a much taller player. So again, even known for her offense, McMillan is, but that was 2 huge defensive plays.
Dickton now for number 13, Aaliyah Fraser. In tight, look at the footwork from McMillan, just wasn't able to get it to go. Pandas will push off the defensive rebound, flip it inside. At least 2 good. And then just stepping on the line there was Olsen.
You could see Scott Edwards just saw that one before it happened, that it was about to go out of bounds. And it's, again, so tough in that corner, especially when you're respacing, trying to be available for your teammate. Those corners, the space runs out pretty quick.
Kobayashi for the Huskies. McMillan now, guarded by Olsen, gives it to Wilson, Chloe Wilson, trying to back down, and had her pocket picked by Reese Hall. Olsen now for Alberta. Jasper Place High School in the city. Over for Harp. Harp from downtown got fouled. Close out there from Fraser. So 3 shots at the free throw line for Harp.
You can see that flare screen to get her open as a defender. It's really hard to chase over the top of that screen and then try to get on the right side of your defender. So you see so many of those fouls on jump shooters, and that's why it's a nice play to run for a shooter. Those are really hard to guard.
Jenna Harp will make the first one. Spruce Grove native playing her final game at the U Sports level, the 5th-year graduating player. You know, she wants to go out on top. I think St. Mary's thought that it was just a 2-point shot. Forgot about the third one. Harp gives the Pandas a 7-point lead here in the first quarter. 8 points already for Jenna Harp. Kobayashi up ahead, and a steal again. The defensive pressure from Alberta has been outstanding. Olsen, guarded by Kobayashi, goes into the low post for Too Good. Too Good surrounded by black shirts, somehow got through and couldn't finish. McMillan back the other direction for the Huskies. Kobayashi open for 3. That's off the mark. Unfortunately, it fell right in the hands of Hall, but she couldn't grab it. I don't think she was expecting it. Goes out of bounds, will stay with St. Mary's. Lots of subs here, including the player who was going to inbound the ball. It was going to be Julia Black, but now we've got a timeout taken by the Huskies. 16-9 is the score. Alberta off to a good start. And Eric, it's been the defense that's really set the tone as it has all season long.
Yeah, that's been their identity all season long. So for one last game, for it to come out in full effect, I think makes a lot of sense. And again, we talked shot clock violation. We talked 8-second half-court call. And I think it was about to be another 8-second call. And that's why there was a little bit of a tough play forced by St. Mary's that turned into a turnover. And again, I think with Alberta, offense has not always been a strength. Shooting has not always been a strength, but the defense is always there. The defense doesn't slump, and if they can create some points through those turnovers, that's where they're going to be most successful, and it's played a pretty big part in their 16 points so far.
If you're St. Mary's, you know you're up against it defensively. How do you try to break them down and generate some offense for yourselves?
Well, I think that for starters, breaking it down, I think is why the timeout was just called. That two-guard front that's of the press that's given them issues so far. I think that drawing something up to just break some of that pressure. It looks like up the sideline mostly is particularly what they're looking to do. But outside of that, I thought that their offense has looked all right. But they're a team that is so good in transition. Anytime they can push early in the shot clock is going to be a good look for them.
Donaldson. There's a little flip up and in from Dickton to get St. Mary's back on the board after a bit of a run from Alberta. And now Olsen gets it ahead for Semenuk over the timeline. Olsen running the show at the moment for the Pandas. Takes a little handoff there. And then a bit of a moving screen perhaps. Offensive foul called against Alberta.
There you see Kobayashi. She was not able to play yesterday, and I thought that St. Mary's really missed her kind of spark off the bench, offensive firepower off the bench, so it's good to see her back in this and see if she can hit some of the big shots she has all year long.
Beaumont missing a three there. Olsen takes it back from Too Good. Hands it off Semenuk. Now up top. There's a shot that's off the mark. St. Mary's gets the ball here. Scott Edwards encouraging. Courtney Donaldson, another one of those fifth years that will be unfortunately hanging him up after this, at least at the U Sports level. Good little sidestep that time from Black, but it wouldn't fall. Rebound collected by Jaden Tanner. Olsen, watched closely here by Black, hands it off. Semenuk. 5 on the shot clock. Olsen will heave. That's an air ball, gathered by Dickton. Here comes Kobayashi. Dishes off, one more out to the three-point line. That'll go, Donaldson.
It's exactly how St. Mary's wants to play. Kobayashi pushes the ball in transition, gets it to the middle of the floor, trailer, swing it out to the wing. Like that's how they've been so successful this year. That's what a picture-perfect offensive possession for them.
5 straight out of the timeout to cut the lead down to 2. Now trying to fight her way through is Semenuk. Kicks it out, and a three-point corner shot is missed. Battling for the rebound is Tanner, and she is going to get called for a foul.
Tanner, of course, started the tournament in the quarterfinals with a career high in points, and what does she do last night? Goes and sets another career high in points and outdoes it even more, and she had a couple threes that just absolutely electrified the crowd. So definitely a big game player to start to have some of her biggest games of the season now, and you'll maybe see on the bench a couple players in street clothes, Kia Easton Ohediohanma and Morgan Harris, both out with injuries. That's meant, and those are two players that play pretty huge roles. So every guard on the roster for the Pandas has gotten to play more minutes, and a lot of them have stepped up, particularly Tanner.
McCusker grabs a rebound on the missed long two from Beaumont. This is Harp. Jenna Harp flips it up high off the glass. Jenna Harp in double digits now with 10 points. Beaumont outside. There's a three. That one's off the front rim. About 4 seconds left. Signatovic got to throw it up. And it's just off the rim. Alberta, though, will have a 4-point lead after the first quarter. A pretty up-tempo opening 10 minutes here.
Yeah, I think before the game we said this isn't going to be a regular consolation or final type of game. Both teams playing with a whole lot of intensity and both teams executing really well. So couldn't ask for much more.
Take a quick break and come right back for second quarter action from the 2024 Women's Final 8 presented by the Westin.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
Alberta Pandas up by 4 after the first quarter of this consolation final at the 2024 Women's Final 8 here in Edmonton. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday from wherever you're watching. Grayson Knutson here with Eric Fawcett. Eric, what jumps out at you on the stat sheet after the first 10 minutes of play?
Pretty funny, almost like inverted stat here for St. Mary's, where they're 1 of 8 from 2, but 4 of 10 from 3. So I think that tells you a couple of things. I mean, first, for them to get up 10 threes and hit 4 of them, again, that's St. Mary's basketball. Push the tempo, get it up the wings, and try to find an open 3. So I think they've got to be really happy with those attempts and the way that they've fallen. And I think I look at 1 for 8 from 2, and I think about just how impactful Claire Signatovich has been for the Pandas defensively around the rim. So that's something that jumps out right away for sure. And then I think when you're looking at the Pandas, you look at a quick 10 from Jenna Harp as a player who can just get hot in a hurry. We saw that already leading the way, providing that kind of jump that they needed from the start. So I think they've got to be happy, and now they can kind of settle in a little bit, maybe get the ball inside and play out of there. But it was great to see Harp out there kind of making things happen at first.
Look at the turnover numbers. Alberta turned it over 6 times, St. Mary's 7, and you go, well, it must have been pretty sloppy, but a lot of that is because of some very good defense from both sides. As Harp dishes down low to McCusker, works her way to the basket, trying to strong arm her way in, kicks it out now Signatovich. Further for Rees. Ella Rees trying to slip one in there to McCusker, who did this last touch off of a Husky player. So 3 seconds on the shot clock, and the Pandas will inbound from the baseline. Harp will inbound. Quick trigger, Rees partially blocked by Donaldson, and then she takes a long pass. Donaldson will slow things up a little bit. Gives it to Fraser. Fraser, nice drive to the hoop, and she flips it up and in for 2.
Yeah, I love Courtney Donaldson. Blocks a shot the moment the ball leaves her fingertips, starts sprinting up the court, and because of that, St. Mary's is able to kind of push things, get numbers, and it creates a bucket. So, again, that has been so successful, and I think you can tell just how good St. Mary's is playing based on how fast they're going.
Steenbakers looked shocked after committing that foul on McCusker. Looked like pretty good defense inside. As McCusker makes the first, a 56.7% free throw shooter.
You see the various big heads in the crowd, a college sporting tradition unlike any other.
Black had her pass deflected. Good hands there from Sarah Klebe. Now Harp dishes to Signatovich. A lot of hands up high, and she gets hits and will go to the line as well. Alberta doing a good job of getting St. Mary's to commit fouls and get some points at the line.
And it started once again with a Panda turnover with their 3-quarter court pressure where, again, I don't think the Huskies they weren't ready to break it. And that particular group that was on the floor wasn't the one that got the instruction of how to break it in the first quarter. And that first quarter group was pushing it up the sideline. And right there you saw there was just no one on that near sideline. Everyone is near the middle of the floor, and that's where the ball tried to get jammed. And that's a number of big turnovers forced by the Pandas, and we're going to see that pressure again right here, I bet.
Signatovich makes both of her free throws. The lead is 6 for Alberta. Into the corner, Steenbakers for three. That one will rim out. Signatovic grabs the rebound. Almost caught from behind there by Beaumont, but that's going to be a foul. So 3 fouls already in this quarter on St. Mary's. We've only played a minute 21. This one's on the floor. No Husky player in any foul trouble, but they'll have to be cognizant of the fact that they've already taken 3 in this quarter. Harp will fire. That one is short. Rebound by Donaldson. Has a look up the floor. Donaldson dishes out Steenbakers, and now McMillan. That's sweet from Alina McMillan. Signatovic. McCusker. Good transition bucket from Alberta, able to break through the press there of St. Mary's. SMU coming right back. Black is fouled.
Look at the way St. Mary's pushes after giving up a made basket. Like that's just so impressive. And it all starts with, again, McMillan's ability to have vision in the full court. Great push ahead there to Julia Black. And as much as the crowd doesn't like it, I think that's a pretty clear blocking foul. And then, and again, that's what happens when you push in transition. It's so tough as a defense to try to adjust to that and backpedal and get your chest in front of the ball. So I think a proper blocking foul there called by the official.
McMillan. Now Black in for Steenbakers. Marlo Steenbakers tried to pass it off, and getting a hand in the way was Hall. Ball will stay with St. Mary's. 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Kobayashi is going to be allowed to come in. She'll take over from Donaldson. Julia Black inbounds it. Opportunity for the freshman Black to get some minutes in a national championship. That will serve her well going forward as Beaumont is fouled. She'll go to the free throw line for 2. Lucina Beaumont out of Fredericton. 71.8% from the charity stripe during the regular season. Beaumont, we've seen now in both games just how good of a shooter she is, particularly from distance. Had some big shots in that loss to Carleton in the quarterfinals. Kept St. Mary's in it for a little while. Here's Harp for Rees, now Signatovic. Guarded closely there by Beaumont. Jaden Tanner to Rees. Doubled. Somebody's got to be open, and Harp in the corner. That's good. Jenna Harp's got 13.
That was really good by U of A to just keep building on the advantage. Swing, and like you said, someone's got to be open, and that was the far corner. And I think if you're St. Mary's, that's the last player you want to leave wide open. Jenna Harp, who's already heating up, and that one was nothing but net.
Ella Rees committed a foul here. Now both teams have taken 3 fouls in this quarter. Could be some early bonus time for both squads. Beaumont lets it fly off the back rim. And who's going to grab this loose ball? McMillan. Then she threw it. Kick ball. This is Alberta possession. Feels like McMillan might have just been better off just holding that one. They do have possession arrow at the moment. St. Mary's bench arguing that that was a pass, so it shouldn't have been a kickball on St. Mary's, but we keep playing.
Yeah, my interpretation was McMillan threw it off the foot of her teammate, and I personally don't think it was a kickball, but I do think she threw it off the foot of her teammate. I think that maybe the bench thinks that the ball was advanced with a kick, where that was not the case. But again, tough place to officiate those broken plays, and we'll see it here, or we'll see the foul there. Another play that I thought the ball was going to be kicked around on the floor.
Second foul on Beaumont, so she'll step out. Black is also off the floor as Donaldson comes in, and Emily Dickton also returns for the Huskies. 6-point Panda lead in this second quarter. Harp tried to pass it out. No deflection, so that's a turnover.
Here's that broken play. So you'll see McMillan grabs it, throws it off the foot again of Beaumont. So I think that was the call, and I think that maybe the bench, because they kept yelling, "Oh, she passed! We passed it!" And I think that they thought the ref thought that the ball was kicked forward, not that it was McMillan passing it forward. And McMillan again heating up from deep.
Bank open on a Saturday here. As she puts it off the black glass. Harp defended by Donaldson. Here's Signatovic. Claire Signatovic strong to the rim, using the glass to lay it in for two more.
See, when Signatovic catches the ball in the high post, if she's able to get to her right hand, she's too long. She's going to finish that every single time. And again, you've seen some teams when Signatovic catches the ball, they just sit right on her right hand and say, "No, you've got to go the other way." But played a little bit more straight up from St. Mary's there, and you can see what happens. What a
nice
pass!
McMillan finds a cutting Steenbakers. Really nice from McMillan there. Trying to get in there was Tanner. Lost the handle, it's off her hip, and it'll go the other way. 3-point lead for Alberta as we reach the media timeout here in quarter number 2. 5:55 to go. 29-26 Pandas leading the Huskies here, the Consolation Final. 2024 Women's Final 8 on CBC.
It's that moment again, the one you dream of every night. La seule chose qui te préoccupe, c'est la gloire. Le cheminement de la réussite, of pushing yourself further than ever before. But the true glory is in the shadows. Les sacrifices que tu fais, quand toutes les chances sont contre toi. When you can't push one more second, chase the glory. Visez haut.
Back inside the Saville Centre. Second quarter action. St. Mary's and Alberta in this Consolation Final, the 5th place match. Of course, we've got our semifinals coming up later. That is strong from Donaldson. We will see Carleton and Queens in a rematch of the OUA final. That'll be the second semi after Saskatchewan and Laval, as St. Mary's forces another turnover. And this time it's McMillan getting caught by the sideline monster. When you go down on the floor and you look between the three-point arc and the sideline, you go, well, there's actually a lot of room here, but then you stand there and you go, well, maybe there's not actually if you want to stay beyond the three-point line.
Oh, and it's one thing to stand there, but to sprint down the floor and try to get your feet set, and that's where it becomes very difficult, as we saw there.
There's a long three-pointer, that one off the heel. Rebound secured by St. Mary's, a chance to go in front here as they get it to Steenbakers. Great footwork underneath the basket. Huskies in front. Alberta now playing from behind here as Harp up against Donaldson. Harp Good move, unfortunately couldn't finish. And the Huskies will look to add to their lead now. Donaldson slowing the pace a little bit. The Kelowna, British Columbia native. She'll fire from deep. Donaldson feeling it.
That is ice cold. You saw her look at her teammates and push them out of the way. She wanted that wing ISO. As soon as everyone cleared out, smooth jumper from deep. There is no better feeling in the world than you call for that ISO, then you drill a three, and you can see she is setting the tone emotionally for her team. She has all weekend long, and they're just taking matters into her own hands.
11 points now for Donaldson. McMillan has 12 to lead all scorers for St. Mary's. Jenna Harp is the overall game leader with 13 points. Scott Edwards and the Pandas taking a timeout here as St. Mary's has flipped things around. Now they're in front by 4. Biggest lead for Alberta was 7. So an 11-point swing here for the Huskies, who have started to pick things up defensively on their own accord.
Yeah, I think so. I think they found something with this little bit of a faster lineup. And again, just the way that they play and the amount of threes that they take, they can kind of go on runs in a way that the Pandas don't necessarily go on. Pandas shoot a lot more twos, don't take as many threes, so they play a little bit more of a consistent game, whereas St. Mary's going to roll the dice. Yeah, we might go 3 or 4 possessions without scoring, but then we're going to hit a bunch of threes in a row, and it seemed like we just kind of blinked, and the Pandas' lead is gone, and now the Huskies are up a couple, and I think you're just seeing the confidence from the Huskies again, especially with that last play from Courtney Donaldson to just say, hey, clear out, I'm taking control.
So it's Alberta ball here. They'll start from their own baseline. Harp, a little bit of pressure being applied by Donaldson. Semenuk gives to Tanner, and now it's with McCusker. Semenuk sees a lane, kicks it out in the corner. Tanner for 3, that's good. Another corner triple for the Pandas.
And that's what she's done all weekend. Again, setting her career high and then beating it the next night. Not sure she'll add to that one today, but still you're seeing she's playing a huge impact. A big 3 there.
Donaldson, a little bit short. Closeout from Semenuk might have affected her. McMillan got the rebound, and she got another 3. 15 for Alina McMillan in this first half.
She's everywhere. Every missed shot, every loose ball just seems to end up in her hands, and there just sprints to the corner, and we're seeing from deep she's got the touch tonight.
Tanner spinning, took one too many steps that time, called for the travel. Alina McMillan, Brantford, Ontario, another 5th-year player. So her final game as well. It's funny how 3 of the final game players, McMillan, Donaldson, Harp, you'd expect them to be good, but seems like they're leaving everything out there this afternoon. Dickton dishes, that one's taken away. Canada West Defensive Player of the Year, Claire Signatovic. Semenuk, Signatovic. Semenuk spinning around Kobayashi, dishes McCusker underneath the hoop. Too many arms in the way, but they're going to get her for a travel. St. Mary's has really picked it up defensively, aside from a couple of corner threes.
And arguably their best defensive player, Caitlin Power, was not even on the floor. She checks in now. So you've got to think, if you're the Pandas, you're like, oh man, we're kind of struggling to get some rhythm here. And then you look across, and now Caitlin Power is coming back in the game. So could become even more difficult for the Pandas to create.
2 fouls for Power, kept her out for a little bit. Now she's spinning around, and she traveled. Just players getting stuck underneath the basket at the moment, not quite sure where to go, and they pick up that pivot foot. Jenna Harp, watched by Donaldson. There's a 3 from Tanner off the back rim. Rebound collected by Donaldson. Quickly ahead, Kobayashi. Could she track it down? She did. Wilson, Donaldson, McMillan. Way downtown. She almost threw that in from Leduc.
Bit of a heat check there, but hey, if no one's going to come out there and guard her and she can get her feet set like that, not a bad look. And again, I think that's something that the Huskies absolutely live with.
Signatovic had a toenail on the line there. So the ball will stay with St. Mary's. 14 on the shot clock. 3 from Donaldson. Rebound. Still up for grabs. Kobayashi, the smallest player in that pile, got it. Now McCusker secures off a miss. Into the final 2 minutes, and all the talk of foul trouble as Harp scores for both teams. Really didn't come into effect here. McMillan up top for Kobayashi. Long two as she stops and pops. Rebound for Power. Back outside, Kobayashi. Donaldson driving into the lane. Good hand from McCusker to disrupt the pass. And now here comes Semenuk. Riley Semenuk wide open. Harp for 3. A little bit too much. Good rebound by Signatovic. And then she gets called for a step. Home crowd not a fan of that call. I don't imagine Scott Edwards, his eyes are, but.
Similar play to the one on the other end that like you mentioned, players just getting stuck a little bit, pivoting, looking for an option. So I think it's consistent with what we just saw on the other end, as much as that's not going to be something that the home crowd would like to hear.
Another good cut there from McMillan. Watched by Harp. McMillan flings it up. Easily picked off by Ella Rees. Leading the charge, dishes off. Signatovic, it's easy. 36 apiece. Timeouts taken by St. Mary's.
You can see the energy in the building start to grow, so that's a nice timeout. 52 seconds left. Maybe you can have an extra possession here if you time things out. So that's a good timeout here by the Huskies, and we've just been treated to a very good half of basketball so far.
Certainly has been a lot of fun. Can both teams know it's their last game of the season, letting it all out there on the floor. St. Mary's, the AUS champions, came in as the number 7 seed in the tournament. Or sorry, the number 6 seed, pardon me. Alberta was the number 5 seed, the host. .8 to go in the half. Alberta will have the ball with the full 24. Or sorry, St. Mary's, I apologize. Into McMillan as we're back underway. Beaumont driving, good defense there, but she got the ball back, scored in the foul. Lucina Beaumont lost it for a second against Riley Semenuk, got the ball back, flipped it up, and scored through contact.
Almost got a little bit lucky that the ball got knocked out of her hands there. Almost if there wasn't a play on the ball, it would have been a travel. And of course, the ball finds her way back to her, and she's able to score an and one opportunity.
3-point trip down the floor for the Huskies. 5 points now for Beaumont on the game. McCusker up top. Now it's Hall down low for McCusker, and you can see there, winding up on the floor was Semenuk. So give us a good look at what happened. Just trying to set a screen and just kind of gets run over there by Chloe Wilson.
And that's a big one, as in the bonus, that'll be 2 free throws. Followed by an opportunity for St. Mary's to hold for the last shot of the half, should they so choose.
Semenuk, another Kelowna product. Hits 2/3 of a free throw, 66.7%. Misses that first one. Gets the second one. And as mentioned, St. Mary's can hold for the last. It's Donaldson, watched closely here by Rees. 10 on the clock. Donaldson flings it into the corner. Black for three. Too strong. Rebound by Beaumont. And this one's going to stay with St. Mary's. 2.2 left on the clock. So we'll see what kind of plays that St. Mary's has drawn up in these short shot clock situations. On an inbounds pass, cut to the hoop, Donaldson flicks it out and a little bit short from Wilson to end the half, but it will be St. Mary's up 39-37. Very entertaining, very close, kind of what we expected, Eric, in that opening 20.
Tremendous game, and I think it's kind of interesting when you look at what will be the last game for a couple of players. Who's stepping up? Fifth-year Jenna Hart playing her last game. Fifth-year Courtney Donaldson playing her last game. Fifth-year Alina McMillan playing her last game. These have been the three best players on the floor, and it's players that are just leaving it all out there. And that's one of the beauties about collegiate basketball, is you're going to get into situations like this where players see the finish line and have one more opportunity to leave it out there.
15 for McMillan, 15 for Harp to lead their teams respectively. And it should be a very entertaining third quarter coming up in about 14 minutes or so. Stay with us. The 2024 Women's Final 8, the Consolation Final here from Edmonton, is on CBC. Saville Community Sport Centre in Edmonton is where the women's Final 8 for 2024 is being played. This is the Consolation Final. The St. Mary's Huskies, the Atlantic champions, with a 39-37 lead as we get ready for quarter number 3 over the host Alberta Pandas. Glad you could join us here on your Saturday. Grayson Knutson with Eric Fawcett here. And we looked at the stats, and there's not really a lot to choose between the two teams, Eric. St. Mary's shooting a little bit better maybe, but really the edge is not really for one team or the other. It's just one extra bucket right now for SMU.
Yeah, to me, I really think the difference is 8 for 20 from 3 for St. Mary's and then 4 for 17 from Alberta. After 4 for 10 in the first quarter, I was like, hey, this is perfect for St. Mary's. That's exactly what they're looking for from 3. They want to get up something like 10 3-point attempts per quarter. They'd love to make 4 of them. And what do they do in the second? Go 4 of 10 again. So if they do that the rest of the way, it's going to be really difficult for Alberta to keep up. So we'll see how Alberta can not only limit the makes, but limit the attempts, because I think that's going to be a focus.
Maybe the other thing that jumps out, fast break points. Alberta has 16, St. Mary's has 5. You think that would be almost the reverse based on how these two teams play, but this is how the game has developed. The Steenbakers misses, but an easy cleanup there for Lucina Beaumont underneath.
So this is something we don't see a lot from Alberta, but they actually come out in a zone. They do not play a lot of zone defense, and there they force the stop, but in zone defense it can be really tough to rebound, so they give up that offensive board. But very interesting adjustment and not one that I expected here.
Semenuk all the way to the hole. Gets her own rebound. Tried to pass it out but got fouled. So this is a foul on the floor here. They got Aki Kobayashi for that foul. She starts here in this third quarter. It's a smaller lineup for St. Mary's. They've got 3 guards on the floor. Oh, and then a collision underneath. Pandas retain possession. Semenuk tried to dump it off inside. McCusker under some duress. 3 on the shot clock. Semenuk flips it up. Got the rim, so we keep playing. McCusker strong underneath, just couldn't finish. Opportunities missed there for Alberta. Transition 3. That one off the mark from Donaldson. Then Beaumont flings it up. Steenbakers grabs a board. Kobayashi, Donaldson. Fakes a pass, drives in, flips up a little runner. Another rebound score for Beaumont.
Again, good defense for Alberta. They just give up too many offensive rebounds, and you give a good scoring team 4 opportunities, eventually one's going to fall.
Signatovic hands off for Jenna Harp. Harp tried a little step back. I think I don't know if they're going to get her for 3 seconds. I think it's on McCusker. So St. Mary's gets the ball, but once again, Huskies defense standing firm. For 4-0 St. Mary's start to this third quarter. Good read there from McKenna Dunn. Dunn will stop and hit a short little jumper. Sorry, Elise Too Good. I had my rosters backwards there. There's an inside score again. Steenbakers this time. Harp tried to flip one up, and that's going to be St. Mary's ball. (45-39) Huskies here in this third quarter. Donaldson trying to break down Jaden Tanner. And that's a travel. Donaldson a little bit frustrated. She'll come out for now as Aaliyah Fraser comes in. St. Mary's has turned it over now 15 times. They only turned it over 17 times yesterday. Semenuk. That one is off the mark. Too good. That'll go again. Back-to-back Panda buckets for Elise Too Good. Kobayashi kicks it out. That's a three that's off the mark there from Fraser. Rebound, Steenbakers. Kobayashi now with the jumper. And slowing it down a little bit is Jaden Tanner. Near side corner, now inside for Hall. Back out off the bank from Riley Semenuk. And she has a little bit of a laugh with Hall about that one. Pandas back within one. McMillan picked up her dribble. Tried to dish it inside, broken up. 5 on the shot clock here for McMillan. She's got to go. Throws one up wildly. Rebound secured by Too Good. Devon Alberta's Elise Too Good will drop it off. Semenuk for Tanner. Tanner needs some help. Gets it to Harp. She fires from downtown. Off the heel, and Kobayashi collects. Aki Kobayashi, originally from Osaka, Japan. There's a three off the mark from Steenbakers.
And after a long time without a whistle, with the ball going up and down the floor, both teams will be happy to know a media timeout is called with that stoppage.
So it's a 45-44 lead for St. Mary's here in the third quarter on the 2024 Women's Final 8 in Edmonton.
They don't do it for the likes or for the shares. They do it for the fun of it, for the thrill, for the camaraderie, for the memories. CBC Sports, just because they love it.
Back to live action here in this consolation final. Pandas trailing by 1, the hosts of this year's Women's Final 8. McCusker, that one's not going to go, but she will shoot 2. Shane McCusker, also her final game of her collegiate career, the Regina, Saskatchewan native. Short on the first free throw attempt. Chance to tie it up here for McCusker. That's not going to go either, but look at the rebound. Signatovic, it wouldn't go.
I think we're surprised at how open she was, expecting a little bit of contact, never came.
Lucina Beaumont trying to spin away from Signatovic. That's no easy task. Now Black for McMillan. McMillan trying to step around Harp, stays with her. Good defense from Alberta. Beaumont short, got her own rebound and scored. Really well done, Lucina Beaumont, who's had a great third quarter. Trouble here for Ella Rees. Finds an outlet in Signatovic. Short on the jumper, McCusker rebound. Open for 3, Rees. Off the rim. McCusker and Signatovic work to secure a rebound. Now Harp sidestep 3. That one not going to go either. Panda's just a little bit cold at the moment. Alina McMillan gets inside, flips it for power. Outside Black, fakes, now she'll take it. Rebound secured, McMillan, she heaves it up. Another miss. And then a push there from Beaumont. A little bit too strong going for that loose ball.
And I believe that'll be her third fighting for position on the glass. You get a nice look there, kind of dispatches the defender with her off arm, I believe is the term in the rule book. And a big foul. She's such an important player for them, and we know she can heat up in a hurry from deep. Hasn't done it yet.
Chloe Wilson coming on now for St. Mary's. She's defending McCusker here. Bridget Olson. Jenna Carrick. Or Carriage, pardon me. Harp had it knocked away, comes back to her. Open 3. That's just a little bit short bouncing around, and then a foul is going to be called on McCusker.
We'll have to see if we can get another look at that. Maybe a little bit over the back. It was the far official who called it, so you'll see number 1, McCusker, under the rim. Not much of a push, it appears on the replay.
St. Mary's on offense. Wilson up top. Hands that one off to McMillan. Now Black. Julia Black stops. Passes to Power. 3 on the shot clock. McMillan's got to fire it up. She didn't. Another 24-second violation forced by the Alberta Pandas.
That's going to fire up the bench, fire up the crowd. Again, this is a team that just takes so much pride on the defensive end, and there's no bigger reward on the defensive end than just not even allowing your opponent to take a shot.
As a coach or someone who's involved, that's got to be the most satisfying defensive possession. A steal is nice, but where you keep the team from shooting for 24 seconds, that's got to feel good. Here's Rees trying to break down her defender. That's Fraser, and it's stolen by St. Mary's. Donaldson got a push. Fraser. Donaldson now. Watch there by Olsen. Creates some space, misses the jumper. Power the rebound. Her shot misses as well. Under 2.5 to go in quarter number 3 as Olsen kicks it out. Rees for 3! Big hit for Ella Rees, and we're tied at 47. And now a hand from Olsen. Harp with a steal. Jenna Harp, and she's hacked from behind by Black. Crowd is buzzing now after the 3 and the steal. Black almost got that clean too, didn't she?
Yeah, and I think that's a foul you live with too. Probably a layup, and to get the foul there early before a shot attempt is even up there. And in a louder gym, I don't think she heard the footsteps there of Julia Black tailing the play. So really good job by Black to get back and save a layup.
4 fouls now though on St. Mary's as Kobayashi steals an inbounds pass. Donaldson flings one across, wide open. Kobayashi in the corner. Rebound by McCusker. Semenuk thought about pushing the pace. Instead will methodically make her way forward. Karich hands it off. Semenuk. Screen from Karich, driving, flipping it up off the glass. Pandas go in front. A seesaw game back and forth here between St. Mary's and Alberta. Donaldson for three. That one won't go. Rebound gathered in by Karich. Olsen, Karich, McCusker. Ella Rees now. And a whistle for something underneath the buckets. That's against St. Mary's. I believe that's shots. It is on St. Mary's. It's on Emily Dickton.
You can see that hand fighting under the rim, a little bit of that hook under the arm. And
so it'll be Jenna Karich, the Sherwood Park products, going to the free throw line. Limited free throws this year, 60% from the stripe.
St. Mary's did just such a good job of holding on to that lead for so long, but some of their starters in foul trouble, some of their key players off the bench in foul trouble, and it just seems like the depth might be a little bit in the favor of the Pandas, as they it would seem to be like their bench outplayed St. Mary's bench a little bit in that stretch there to finally take the lead.
Both free throws missed though, so SMU gets away with it. Kobayashi, there's a lane to the bucket, but she'll pass it off instead, and it results in a turnover. Looked like certainly there was room for her to get to the hoop, but
again, usually it's Signatovic under the rim. This time it's Karich. Just Alberta always has so much size on the inside, so much length to deter some of these smaller guards from wanting to try them at the rim.
Rees defended by Donaldson. Gets a bit of a screen there from Too Good. And a clever one there from Riley Semenuk off the glass. Final shot for St. Mary's if they choose. Kobayashi. Donaldson. 5 on the clock. Donaldson flips it up and it will drop. And that'll do it for quarter number 3. St. Mary's had a 2-point lead after 2. Now Alberta is in front by a couple after 3. Not much to choose between these two. Should be an amazing fourth quarter of this Consolation final. And we'll have it for you in just a couple of minutes. Stay with us on CBC, the 2024 Women's Final 8 from Edmonton.
The exchange was awesome. Yeah.
You have the power to inspire and impact the climate.
Back inside the Saville Centre, St. Mary's Huskies trailing by a couple here after they were outscored in that fourth quarter, 14-10. Here's a look in the back. That's how everything gets to your screens. They do the hard work so we can do the fun job of talking hoops. Grayson Knudsen with Eric Fawcett here with you. Hope you're having a good Saturday. We had a quick look at the stats, Eric, and there's not a lot to choose between these two teams. Time with the lead is fairly even. 5 lead changes, 4 ties. Advantage to Alberta in terms of fast break and bench points, but an edge to St. Mary's in second chance opportunities.
Yeah, this is the Consolation final that doesn't feel like one because of the crowd and the intensity that both teams are playing with. After making 4 threes in the first quarter, after making 4 threes in the second quarter, there was 0 made threes for St. Mary's in the third, and I think that's how you see that they ended up losing that slim lead. But at the same time, I think they're thinking, hey, we went ice cold from deep, and that's usually our game, and hey, we're just stuck one possession. So that's something that just strikes you about this game. There hasn't been in too many crazy runs, there's been a lot of lead changes, and it's been pretty tight. So it just you just wonder if in about 9 minutes and 30 seconds of gameplay, are we going to be looking at another one possession game, and then it'll be up to who can make the bigger play.
Pandas will get the ball to begin quarter number 4. Jenna Harp, Elise Too Good. Harp takes the handoff. Riley Semenuk gets by, up and under. And crashing the glass hard there was Beaumont. Able to grab that rebound and was fouled as well. Just got tangled up with Reese Hall. Hall called for a foul. Alina McMillan stuck on 15 points here. Kobayashi. Donaldson. Courtney Donaldson. Tough defense inside. Semenuk was in the way. So was Hall. Now Semenuk for Harp. Harp looking for someone on the back door, but nobody home in a gold shirt. And Kobayashi, like she had looked away, she wanted to move that ball before she caught it. And had to go through her hands. All inbounds for the Pandas. Alberta still with that 2-point lead. Awaiting our first basket in this fourth quarter consolation final. Hall, nice give and go and a bucket for Jaden Tanner.
She had one of those in a huge moment last night, that give and go play. Defender just lets up for a second.
Well, clever from McMillan, flipping up a little runner off the glass. 17 for her now. Tanner had it poked away by Beaumont. Ball stays with the Pandas, 15 on the clock. Jenna Harp, leading Panda scorer with 15. Tanner, short. McMillan's able to collect. McMillan quickly for Kobayashi. Underneath, dicked in. That won't go. She gets her own rebound and lost it, but it was knocked away, so St. Mary's retains possession. Marlo Steenbaker's coming back in for St. Mary's. Donaldson, sidestep three, that goes! Donaldson, little bit of a look at the Panda bench there. She's got 16.
She's a gamer. Again, earlier calls for the ISO, hits a big three. This time hits the step back three and has a look for the Pandas bench. And that was a huge one to go ahead.
Hall underneath the bucket, missed it. Loose ball is going to be grabbed by McMillan. She wants to get out and run. McMillan dumps it for Steenbakers. Back to McMillan, way downtown, off the heel of the rim. She's not shy about hoisting from about 27 feet, is she?
No, I thought that was like Caitlin Clark out there. Just again, if no one's going to match up with her coming across center, watch out.
Harp, 5 on the clock as it's down to Too Good. Double comes, Too Good fades. Rebound, battle for it, jump ball situation. Arrow right now is with St. Mary's. I think that's our first jump ball we've seen in this game. Whole whack of subs being made for both teams here. Jenna Harp, the Pandas number 4. Seven minutes left in this one. It's got the feeling like it is going to come right down to the wire, doesn't it? As McMillan probing inside. Stopped up and she turns it over.
That's where Alberta is so disruptive with their guards, trying to deny passes, deny ball reversals, and there, just nowhere to really go on that dribble handoff attempt, and miscommunication goes out of bounds.
Media timeout here in the fourth quarter. So why don't we take a quick break while we look at some of the highlights from the game so far. Fans here at the Saville Centre getting into this one a little bit. Even the youngest supporters here as well. Had a halftime mini game with some of the Northwest Warriors. I'm not sure what age group. They couldn't have been more than about U8, U9, that sort of age range. It was kind of fun.
Oh, and I feel like we've witnessed so many of those halftime games in our various careers, and this had to be the highest scoring one I think we've ever seen. Both teams were getting buckets out there, so the skill level of the next level is higher than ever.
And a little bit of a stumble there because of a foul. Olsen taken down. Black gets called for the push. Black with her third foul. Not a lot there. Olsen will inbound to McCusker. Ella Rees. Signatovic walked. Didn't dribble the ball before she started moving. St. Mary's a slim 1-point lead at the moment. 6.5 to go. Steenbakers out of Ottawa. Plays it in for Beaumont. Blocked. Will stay with St. Mary's, but there's the defense of Alberta once again.
It's a really nice recovery. You see these plays where you set that first curl just to soften up the defense, and really smart there from Rees, who's kind of stays in the middle to contest.
Black, Donaldson, and all up on her was Olsen. Gets called for the foul. Don't count the bucket. Olsen gets called for the foul, just her first. 14 for the Huskies as McMillan inbounds. Takes the handoff from Steenbakers. Donaldson pulls up from the free throw line, and it will rattle in. Courtney Donaldson, a game-high 18. Here's Signatovic for Rees. Ella Rees into the trees. Steenbakers comes away with it. Donaldson takes the pass, dumps it down low. Beaumont, one more, Steenbakers. Oh, great ball movement. Steenbakers' second chance won't go. Chippy missed by St. Mary's. Alberta trying to get out and run. Here's Signatovic. And she walked again.
Just that split second of indecision on the catch. That's the second time. And I think a wise timeout here for Scott Edwards as he kind of just starts to see the wheels not falling off, but just starting to wobble in terms of his team's focus. And he's got plenty of timeouts to use here in the final quarter.
Only 2 points in the first 4:40 of this fourth quarter for Alberta. St. Mary's doing a very good job defensively, particularly inside. And Alberta haven't taken a lot of threes lately either, so maybe a little bit hesitant. They're not feeling it right now from distance.
Well, and again, I think in a big game and in a fourth quarter, you're always going to go back to what's most comfortable. So I think you see with Alberta, it is try to get the ball inside to Signatovic. And unfortunately, it's resulted in a few travels. But like Signatovic has got it done in a lot of big games, so it's something they can go back to. And what is it for St. Mary's? It's go to Courtney Donaldson and Alina McMillan, and you've seen that both of those players have been completely up to the challenge. You saw another big shot from Donaldson on that mid-range jumper, and again, that's something again. To reiterate, you always see in big moments of big games, you always go back to what is most comfortable, and whichever strength of that between the Pandas and St. Mary's, whatever wins out, that's very well could be the difference.
McMillan on your right there. Jenna Harp on your left, and two of the graduating players. Harp leading her team with 15 points, but hasn't scored here in the second half. I suspect that will change before we're done here. Beaumont trying to shake off McCuskers, gives to Donaldson. Donaldson, clever with the handles, gets hacked. Semenuk called for the foul. And a couple of Husky players kind of fall on each other, and they have a chuckle about it, as fortunately nobody winds up hurt there.
And again, just Courtney Donaldson always in attack mode. Like, she is just wired to score the ball. And there she just wasn't going to be denied, kept her head down, changed directions a few times, pump fake, waited for the shot blocker to go by. It's great instincts to score.
Missed that first free throw, 83% in the regular season. Gets the second, and it's a 4-point lead now for St. Mary's. Donaldson applying some pressure here on Harp. Harp inside. Hall off the glass. Gets the bucket for Alberta. McMillan. Beaumont lets it go short. Rebound, Karams right back to her. Now Beaumont wants to drive on Hall. Strong move to the basket. Beaumont's got 13 points now for the Huskies. Semenuk, handoff for Harp. Screen from Hall, she rolls to the bucket. McCusker gets the pass. Had the pass knocked away, and now Black for the Huskies. Beaumont. Hall slows down her progress. Steenbaker slips past, dishes back out. Donaldson for three. Won't go. Rebound. Claimed underneath by Beaumont, and a foul is going to be called. And Lucina Beaumont goes to the line for two.
Almost seemed like her back was to McCusker, who got called. We'll get a great look at it here. It's kind of an awkward play. Again, it was almost like Beaumont's back was to McCusker as she went up, but there was some contact on the arm.
That's 4 fouls now on Shea McCusker, so she has to be careful. Beaumont splits a pair, and McCusker will come out as Signatovic returns. Can the Pandas find some late game offense here? St. Mary's up by 5. Inside looking for Hall, knocked away by Beaumont. 13 on the shot clock for Alberta. Inbound to Harp for three. That rolls in. Jenna Harp, first bucket of the second half. 18 points now on the game.
You asked where the offense was going to come from. Call a play for your best offensive player for a catch and shoot in the corner. And just a huge shot from Harp.
Kobayashi wildly off the glass. Steenbakers gets a rebound. Out to McMillan for three. Couldn't answer. Kobayashi gets a board, and then she's fouled.
And with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left, that's going to be shots, which is huge at this point of the game.
Good positioning there by Aki Kobayashi. Opportunity for first points of the game here. Looked good on the free throw. 79.5% during the regular season. Missed the second one. 3-point lead for the Huskies with about 3 minutes left to play. Here's Harp. Gets by Donaldson. Free throw line jumper. That won't go. Rebound, Steenbakers. Donaldson ahead for McMillan. And Steenbakers driving. This ball's bouncing around. Looked like it landed on that baseline a couple of times. Finally, the whistle blows. St. Mary's ball. They've got 16 seconds still to work with. McMillan lets it fly. She was hit. Harp can't believe it, but McMillan will go to the line for three.
We'll have to get a look at that. You see this elevator play. Two screeners let the shooter through. Harp has to battle. A little bit of that high five at the top.
Well, McMillan missed the first. Nailed the second to make it a 4-point lead. Two of three for Alina McMillan, 2-possession game. Harp hollering out instructions. Semenuk for Signatovic, double comes. Hall for three. That won't go, rebound. I think there's gonna be a foul underneath though, as Tanner was looking for the offensive board and she got pushed.
Only the second for St. Mary's, and that'll be big as they have the opportunity to use some fouls, competing on the glass with some bigger Pandas the rest of the way.
McCusker back in, Ella Rees is in as well. Harp takes the inbound pass, 10 on the shot clock. Semenuk. McCusker rolling to the net, and she will get it to go. (63-60). St. Mary's in front. We've got 2 minutes left to play. Consolation final. Kobayashi, Beaumont, defended by Hall. 5 on the clock. Kobayashi has to shoot. That's an air ball. This crowd is feeling it right now, urging their Pandas on. And with St. Mary's wants a timeout. Sorry, Eric.
Yeah, I was about to mention, with both teams having 2 timeouts remaining, I feel all 4 of those could be in play. And again, with St. Mary's feeling the crowd firing up a little bit, wanting to set their defense here. A good call.
Crowd has been great all weekend long. Obviously a little bit biased one way here in this game with the home team involved. But we've seen pockets of St. Mary Husky fans. There's a couple of them behind us where we're sitting. Some of the other teams starting to trickle in a little bit, but we've got a bit of a break before our semifinals, which start at 6 o'clock local. So an hour and 15 from now. That'll be the Saskatchewan-Laval game. Top-seeded Huskies against number 4 Rouge et Or, and then we'll have a rematch of the Critelli Cup as Carleton plays Queens at 8 o'clock local. Well, maybe closer to about 8:30 by the time things get going. St. Mary's down to 1 timeout. As Eric mentioned, Alberta still has both of theirs. Pandas to inbound from their own end with $1:47 left to play in a 3-point game. Jenna Harp. Inside Hall, the double comes out to Harp. Rees for 3. That's short. Rebound collected by Steenbaker. She's been good on the glass, but the outlet pass is turned over.
Just a bit too much in a hurry to push that ball up the floor, and you almost wonder, up 3 with 90 seconds left, if they should have been looking to slow it down anyways. But that is the DNA of the St. Mary's team. They want to play fast, even in a game as late and tight as this.
Harp, Semenuk gets inside, off the glass, 1-point game. McMillan now. Alina McMillan. As we get closer to 1 minute left in this consolation final. 5 on the shot clock for McMillan. Dishes off, Kobayashi! Off the rim, rebound grabbed by McCusker. Pandas with a chance to go in front. Jenna Harp. Semenuk. Rees. McCusker turned it over. Steenbakers. Kobayashi, the Huskies will want to slow things down.
Yeah, I think this ball's got to find Courtney Donaldson. She didn't touch it on the last possession. I mean, she's a big shot guard. This is who I want to have the ball here as the clock winds down.
She's got it now. 5 on the shot clock.
Gets the switch she wants.
Donaldson, pop. That's a little bit short. Steenbakers grabs the rebound. They've got a foul now. Kobayashi. McMillan will get fouled, and there was 7.9 to go. McMillan to the line for a couple.
And these are going to be huge free throws. Again, Alberta with 2 timeouts and the opportunity to advance the ball. You have to think that one might be coming. Scott Edwards just told the table he was not calling one right now. He's going to wait and see what happens with these free throws first, and chooses not to, quote-unquote, ice the free throw shooter.
She's very good, 87.8% from the line for Alina McMillan.
As a coach, I do like to wait here, find out if you're down 2, if you're down 3. It really affects your play call, and now you'll be able to advance it if she makes it, I presume. And yes, there's a timeout from the Pandas sideline.
7.9 seconds left. 3-point game after 2 clutch free throws from Alina McMillan. The Huskies need to play solid defense for just under 8 seconds here. Alberta, they've got some options for 3-point shooters. Obviously, I think you would look first to the likes of Jenna Harp, but Ella Rees is a good option as well. Maybe
and something
even Jane Tanner,
something that could be very much in play, a conversation around modern basketball all the time. Do you foul up 3? And if so, when? It's always a little bit of a challenge. A lot of coaches that like to foul up 3 want it to be below 5 seconds, but it's always dangerous again. And if you're an offensive player, if I'm an Alberta Panda, I'm trying to see if that intentional foul is coming, and if so, I'm putting that ball in the air like I'm shooting and trying to go to the line for 3. But that is a little bit of that chess match, and as a defense, I almost like to play with it and make the opposing team think you're at least thinking about it. And it can kind of mess up the timing, but something to watch for here, and especially in a situation, St. Mary's has fouls to give, so they could even just look to foul right away, maybe take a second off the clock, do it again, take another second off the clock, and that's the advantage of not fouling so much early, is there's a lot St. Mary's can do here defensively.
And you got to watch the inbounder too. Sometimes that's the most dangerous player on the floor. Harp for the 3 and the tie. too strong, rebound, back to Harp, lets it fly, just short. St. Mary's wins the consolation final, 65-62. Jenna Harp, oh, she wanted so badly to make that last shot, the end of her career. Not able to do it. St. Mary's will walk out of here with a 5th place finish.
March basketball in single elimination is ruthless. It's unforgiving. There, Alberta runs a really good play, an elevator screen for one of their best three-point shooters in Harp. Just doesn't fall. Rebound kicks out. She gets a second opportunity and doesn't fall. Right from the logo that she's played on so many times. But here's we get a look at the St. Mary's Huskies team. I have been so impressed with the way that they played, not just today, but yesterday, and playing again with so much passion, so much heart, continuing to play their identity, pushing the ball, shooting a lot of threes. And let me tell you, I couldn't be more impressed with the play of Courtney Donaldson, who I thought really took things over in the second half with her shot-making ability, and Alina McMillan, her ability to handle the ball, dictate tempo. Just such an impressive job by those two guards, and I think a deserved win for the Huskies, especially playing at a pretty hostile environment here in the U of A home court.
Got the Booster Juice players of the game coming up. Just waiting for everything to get organized for that. And of course, big congratulations to both of these two teams on wonderful seasons. It's not easy to get here. Alberta, of course, they were the hosts. They knew they were going to be here, but they earned their way in as well, winning silver at the Canada West tournament. And a big shout out as well to all the graduating players playing their final games. Wonderful careers for the likes of Donaldson, Alina McMillan, Shane McCusker, Jenna Harp. Crowd gives both teams a big round of applause. So Booster Juice player of the game, first from St. Mary's. There's some Panda alumni presenting. Lucina Beaumont, player of the game for St. Mary's. She had 14 points, 11 boards, another double-double for Beaumont, as well as 1 steal. A couple of assists as well for Lucina Beaumont out of Fredericton.
So impactful defensively this whole tournament. Played a huge role in the win yesterday with some early shot making. Really impressive weekend.
Co-players of the game for Alberta, as they're going to give it to the two graduating players, Shane McCusker and Jenna Harp. Some tears for those girls. I know they're disappointed to lose, but happy tears as well. They've had a wonderful time here at the U of A. They'll look back with some wonderful memories.
Well, and this is just such a luxury that, you wish that every player got to end their collegiate career on their home court in front of their home friends and family. But unfortunately, not everyone gets that opportunity. So it's just fantastic to see these two players get that chance. And now you see them swarmed, and you'll see on the baseline behind them, University of Alberta alumni, a lot of former basketball players there. So this is a special scene. Would they have loved to end it off with a win? Absolutely. But still, like you said, happy tears, smiles.
Two teams shaking hands, hoping to get one of the St. Mary's players perhaps up here for a post-game interview. We'll see how the timing works out. Alberta Pandas will finish in 6th, while St. Mary's goes home with the 5th place finish. And they'll get a team photo here as well. Fun team to watch. Head coach Scott Monroe and his crew have to be very proud of their team and how they played. So again, 6 o'clock local, so just a shade over an hour from now, we'll have the first semifinal between Saskatchewan and Laval. As you see, the alumni and fans create the tunnel for the players going off the floor. What a cool moment for that group of players.
You know, this is why as a program you invest in things like this and invest in the opportunity to host. And again, I've just been so impressed with the University of Alberta ever and putting on this event. It's been so special, and to have this fan support has been huge. And there is a very emotional head coach who's been looking forward to this for years, has always wanted to have this event in Edmonton, has had some tremendous teams, and is just so well loved by everyone in the city and the basketball community, and for good reason.
I think we might just have to wrap things up here, Eric. Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get a post-game interview with one of the St. Mary's players. That's all right, though.
As much as we'd love to talk to them, it's also nice for them to get and experience both the win and the last game of the season on both sidelines. But man, were we treated to a beautiful game.
Wonderful game here. Hopefully the other semifinals this evening are just as good. Again, Saskatchewan, the top seed against Laval, and then we'll have an Ontario final rematch between Queens and Carleton. That one should be tasty also in the nightcap here this evening. So on behalf of our entire crew here at the Saville Centre, my awesome color commentator Eric Fawcett, my name is Grayson Knutson. Thank you so much for watching. Again, we'll be back here 6 o'clock Mountain Time for semifinal number 1 between Saskatchewan and Laval. Until we speak with you again, take care everyone, and so long from Edmonton, the 2024 U Sports Women's Final 8 presented by Weston.